All right, sweet guys. Let's get this started. Really, what I'm going to be talking about right now is the importance of having a community, right? When you're a coach or consultant, even as an agency owner, right? And for you guys that are becoming growth specialists, the importance of having something like this skill to not just understand the importance of a community, but in being able to um, explain to whoever you work with why it's important for them to build a community, and as well as why they should, like have one for short term. Like a lot of people, they won't see the benefit. They'll see like, oh, well, why, but I'll show you guys exactly the best way to explain it to them. That way, one, they understand, okay, this makes sense. And two, it's like, okay, I'm open to, to trying it out. But let me, let me do whiteboard and then let me know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, sweet. Now let me know if you can see what I'm writing.
Um, it's like in the bottom of the
Okay,
screen.
you should be able to move your screen with your mouse.
Oh yeah, I got you. Wait, did I
Okay,
just move the?
you move the thing, so move the screen, don't
Oh,
move the drawing.
oh shoot, I don't know how to do that.
No, you're good. So click on the screen. You see on the left, it says select, right?
S- Oh
Grab, and
yeah, I
you should
gotcha.
be able to, yeah, move the screen. All right, let me know when
Oh
you
grab.
guys are all good, and then I'll start with
Yeah,
the
I gotcha.
demonstration.
So the drawing's in the center of my screen right now.
Okay, cool, cool, sweet. Syed, Leroy, are you guys good?
You mean in the terms
Yeah.
of drawing?
Yeah, no, you don't need to draw, but do you see it?
No, I couldn't able to do that. I'm trying to do that, but I couldn't able to.
Okay, but you can't, so you can't see.
No, I can see the whiteboard.
Okay, you can see the drawing as well.
Yes, I can see the drawing as well, but I couldn't
Okay,
able to draw it.
yeah, no worries, no worries. All that matters is that you can see it. All right,
All right.
so let's get started, right? So this is one of the things that I recently learned, and it's what I've been doing lately is learning from how bigger companies have been able to scale and what made them so great, right? And if everyone, right, applies this, there's no reason that they don't make, even you guys, right? You start as appointment setters, you start as growth specialists. There's no reason why in the next 5 to 10 years you aren't making millions, right? And understanding this concept right here, number one, understand time, right? 10 years is a long time. 5 years is a long time in terms of how much time you have to put in work in order to get lots of returns. In the grand scheme of things, 3 years, 10 years, 50 years, it's a really, really short time. But if you can focus on doing the right things for the next 10 years, there's no reason why you will not be as successful as you want to be, right? And the big companies, they understand time and they understand, okay, let me let's focus on doing this. Even though all these amazing things are here, let's focus on cultivating this thing right here and make it as big as possible, and then we'll reap all the returns later on, right? So this is why I say it's so important understanding the purpose of having a community, right? So I'm gonna give you guys some demonstrations, right? So Google, right? Can you guys see the G?
No.
No?
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, let me zoom out on my.
Give me one second.
Oh,
I'm gonna draw
it's
it again.
over. Okay, okay, I got you. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna draw it over here. Can you guys see the G?
Yeah. It's
Everyone.
very
Okay.
deformed, but I can see it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna draw it again. All right, because I want this to be clear. All right. So G, everyone can see it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Google. Apple, they did a similar thing, right? Google created the best thing ever, right? Which was they made any piece of information you want, they made it absolutely free, right? Now, let's say this is Google, right? You Google search, you can find anything you want in the world, it's absolutely free, right? So,
Mhm.
how do you think they make the money that they make?
Don't they sell people's data or something?
That's one good answer. Leroy, Syed.
The visitors adverts from that they are earning.
Okay. Leroy.
Investors, mate.
So not so much, well, investors in a way, right? So to make this really clear, they make their money by first they collected 1 billion users, right? Let's say the entire world, right? Billions of users are using Google, right? Let me erase this real quick. So all the money they make is really from selling access to that audience, right? How much money are people paying in order to access the people that are constantly searching on Google, right? And Apple did the same thing, right? They made let's see, the first phones, not Apple, but the first phones, they were free, right? And then all of a sudden, everyone in the world has phones nowadays. Everyone wants to use phones, and what are advertisers paying lots of money for? Access to the people using phones, right? And Apple did something similar, right? They don't make all their money. Well, they make a good sum of money from people buying their products every single year, but one, they created one thing, then they created an entire ecosystem, making everyone who bought that one thing's life easier, right? Which is laptops, AirPods, all these different things, making their lives easier once they purchase that one product, right? So this tying this back to coaches and consultants and agency owners building a small community is it having that community and growing it as big as possible allows you, let's say 6 months from now, you make an offer, everyone in that community who likes you, who likes your content, who likes what you're selling, who likes what you're giving to them, they're they're ready to hop on board, right? That's how you can see consultants, coaches, or any other people in this space. They'll have, oh, I made $1 million today, and like I think Dan Henry made $1 million in one day from one of his offers, because it's not because he was paying so much money in advertising or anything like that. He was able to do that because he had access to his own audience. He had access to such a large audience that when he made a brand new offer, everyone who wanted to hop on that offer hopped on, and they each paid, I don't remember the price, but they were able to um they paid for whatever he offered to them, right? So I'll say another good example of this is, and why it's important for coaches and consultants and agency owners, and for you guys as well, right? As you guys are building your personal brands as growth specialists in the future, you will have such an audience that no matter where you want to take that audience, if you want to start your own business, those people are willing to support you, or they are willing to work with you because you've built that amount of trust with them, right? They followed you, they joined a community, they did anything relating to you because they got so much value from you, right? So I'll give you guys a much better diagram of this, right? So number one, right? Every single person who has, like, you look at Mr. Beast, right? I'm sure most of you guys probably know who Mr. Beast is, right? And a lot of people are predicting him to be one of the first ever YouTube billionaires, right? Why do you think he's able to do that, right? I'm gonna open the floor. Why do you guys think he's likely to be one of the first ever YouTuber billionaires?
Basically he have a more audience.
Okay, Byron.
It's
I think it's because like the things he does, like the good things he does, it gives like a lot of trust to the people who's watching it. And then the audience are like, oh, this guy's like, this is a great guy. And then they're like, I don't know, they subscribe building an audience, but it's not just some any audience, it's just an audience with like trust and like they'll support him and stuff like that.
Exactly,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
And
Basically, the people won't accepted in the feature screen, so they accepted in the YouTube. So for the content creations, the content he created, so it's something a valid thing.
exactly. And I'm about to let me open a different app um to just draw this out for you guys better. Because I know Leroy just told me he couldn't see. Okay, let me share this instead, and then let me know if you guys can see this. Can you see it?
No.
It says It says you're started screen sharing, but it hasn't came up with anything yet. I think it's just loading.
Yeah, I think I'm lagging out of the Zoom. One quick second. Let me stop the share. Yeah, it's gonna keep doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, you're back.
All right. Hopefully it's still recording. All right. So I'm gonna hit share one more time to see if it's gonna allow me to share it. If not, then I'll just demonstrate with my hands. All right. One more second. Let me know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Sweet, sweet. Okay. Let me draw this out. Okay. One quick second. Nope. It's gonna quit again. Let me know if I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay. So can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So Mr. Beast, right? He pushes for attention so much, right? And the number one reason is one, he's giving value in some type of way that every person um is so many people around the world know who Mr. Beast is, right? And anything he wants to do, people are buying it. People are ready, especially kids, right? They're ready and willing to give their money to Mr. Beast, right? Why? Because Mr. Beast has gotten so much attention, right? And he stored that attention in one place, YouTube, right? And then obviously now he's diversified to other platforms as well. But he launches a restaurant, it's successful. He launches clothing brand, it's successful. He launches candy brand, it's successful. He launches anything and it's so successful in such a short amount of time. Even maybe in the long run, it may not last, but in the short time, he makes so much money just from one launch of a brand new offer, right? And so the advantage that you can sell to coaches, consultants, and agency owners when you are working for them is like, hey, look, we're currently getting leads right now from whatever method they're doing, whether it's outreach or just inbound leads. And if they do not have a community, you pitch them the idea of why it's important to have a community and to manage the community, right? And then you can say, hey, look, I'll manage this community for you for XYZ fee, right? And you will take care of every lead that comes into the community, whatever, right? The main purpose is for them to understand that long term, the bigger this community gets, the quicker they'll be able to, man, you need $100,000 right now, you launch a brand new offer, depending on that size of that community, the price of that offer, that's an easy $100,000 for them. It's an easy $1 million from them. Like, think about how many millions Mr. Beast could make if he just launches a new offer for something every single month, right? So how many people do you think are buying into that? Because one, they know who they're focused on Mr. Beast, right? And I'll say it's a much newer direction. This is coming from an interview of a billionaire who was it has something to do with Facebook. I think he was like one of the COOs or something like that. But he was basically explaining this. If I find the interview, I'll send it to you guys if you want to watch it. And really, every piece of attention is so important nowadays. And as you can see, like big companies are constantly paying for our attention, right? Social media apps did the same thing that Google and Apple did, right? They gathered a billion users, right? Billions of users, right? For their apps for free. They gave you access to the app for free. They gave you so much value for free, which is why for me, with this program, you're not just everyone who buys into this program, even you guys, it's not just the information, right? Because selling information, you can make money short term, but long term, you look at AI, right? You can't really make too much money selling information nowadays, right? People are willing to buy access to so many different things like done for you, things you're doing for them, things you're helping them do, right? Because people are tired of just purchasing information. And like, think about how many people, even me myself, right, bought courses and courses and courses, yet they never amount to any type of success that they want. The reason is it's just having information isn't able to help, right? It's not going to help you as much as someone who's doing it for you, someone who's helping you do it that will take you much further than trying to do it all by yourself, right? And you guys can see, right? I'm adding so much stuff to the program, but the content that I'm adding inside of the program, that's only 10% of the value that anyone who joins the program will receive from the program, will receive from the program, because most of what they will receive will be done with what we're helping them do, as well as what we're doing for them, that they don't have to necessarily, maybe they will need to understand what's the purpose of it. That way they can explain to other people like you guys, right? I'm explaining to you the importance of having an audience, right? Of the importance of growing a small community and eventually making it as large as possible, right? But maybe you guys won't have to do this. Maybe you, as a growth specialist, won't need to build this inside of someone else's company, because maybe you're just there, hey, look, let's hire a VA from X, Y, and Z location. We'll pay them this much. All they have to do is manage the community for us. That way I can focus on bringing you more leads and speaking to more of your prospects, right? So when you have the knowledge, it's important, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the one to do it, right? Now, as you can see, right, every social media app, Facebook, right, Instagram, TikTok, every single one of them, they gathered billions of users. And then what did they do? They started selling the attention of the users. They started selling the attention of the users, right? And because of that, they were making, how many millions do you think they made the moment they started launching this, right? Every single one of them, they can constantly be selling stuff to the users, but they make so much more money by selling the attention of the users. And so for you guys and for me, the importance of putting content out there, right? How much of the population do you think is actually creating content, right? Content creators are the next, I don't want to say the next big thing, but it's like these platforms, they are here for us. They are here for content creators. They need content creators in order to thrive. Like you look at YouTube, without content creators, YouTube is basically nothing, right? So because of that, because of people like Mr. Beast, because of people like me creating content on YouTube, because of people like you guys, if you start creating content on YouTube, YouTube is going to thrive, and you as well are going to be building an audience, right? And then if you're sending that audience to your own platform, such as collecting their emails, collecting, sending them back to a community like Telegram, Discord, or Facebook, how much more money do you think you will make in the long run when you launch something, right? Let's say you're launching a new course. Let's say you're launching a new consulting offer, a new coaching offer. You want to start your own agency, because you have people who are already fans of your content, because you give them so much value, you help them in some sort of way. It's not just creating stupid content, because I can guarantee you, Mr. Beast does not just create content. He creates his content in such a way that almost anyone can enjoy it. Everything is to the detail, right? Even though it seems like, oh, he just got a brand new idea, everything is so structured that you are watching, you will continue to watch, you will finish watching, and you will feel closer to Mr. Beast's content, right?
Yeah.
And even me myself, I've been watching a few different creators in the business space recently, and I watched so much of their content to where I'm like, damn, I need to pay this person, right? I want to pay them. I want to work with them. I want to learn from them. The reason is because I've seen so much of their content. I trust them so much, and I feel like, damn, I need to do something to get closer to this person, to actually work with them. I'm willing to put out as much money that is necessary in order to work with that person, right? And I experienced this as well, because I grew a TikTok audience so fast last year, up to 70K, right? It's starting to die down a little bit because I stopped posting on TikTok because I no longer want to. But and the reason is the audience wasn't the people I really wanted to work with, right? And but explaining this to you, I was getting so many people wanting to work with me that I could launch something that they would pay for. But the reason is I didn't want to launch something in that space, which was the dating space, right? I launched a few small, low ticket products, but it wasn't really as, I'll say, as purposeful, and I didn't really want to stick into that space. Which is right now, I'm more focused on this business space and the systems, and like these are the types of things I like to do, right? And the same aspect, the same reason why, yes, I'm creating content for my company, for this company, for Prime Setters, the program. You guys as well, as growth specialists, as appointment setters, it's good to create content for yourself because number one, when you are building that small audience, even though it's small, there are people who are engaging with your content. So now if you're doing this a part of a company, that those same people will funnel back into the company, and that will result in you having money to leverage because that company is going to get more business and they will be willing to pay you. Now, for you on the long run, let's say 6 months, you've been putting out so much content, you grew a pretty large audience. Let's say 6 months from now, you no longer want to be an appointment setter or a growth specialist, and you want to launch your own agency offer. You want to launch your own coaching offer. Those people, at least, do you think out of 6,000 or 10,000 or 1,000, do you think at least 5 of them would be willing to pay you to work with you? Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I thought you guys were gone. Yeah. So because
I didn't know that it was a question for us.
no, no worries, no worries. Because look, let's say you grew to 1,000 followers and you launch a $2,000 offer, a $5,000 offer. If those 1,000, five people are going to be open to working with you, and out of those 5, maybe 1 is willing to pay you whatever you charge because they know it will be it will be worth their time, it will be valuable, right? And so if us as content creators, as growth specialists, as business owners, as appointment setters, as closers, whatever service you are offering, whatever job you are doing, even you, if you look at even construction workers, roofers, why are they putting out content? Because they're getting more and more attention of their work. And because people fall in love with how you do your work, they want to do business with you. They don't care about the company. They care about you, the face of the company, because you're the person that makes them, feel educated, that educates them, that shows them how to do something new, that shows them the value of doing something new. Like right now, I'm showing you guys the importance of this. And maybe in the future, you're like, man, Duno's pretty knowledgeable. And maybe if I keep pouring content similar to this, you guys are like, wow, okay, I don't want to move too far away from Duno. I want to actually learn more from him, right? All these types of things, like even Leroy, he's been with me for a long time. And why is he still here, right? I'm not paying him to be here, but he's still here learning and wants more. Maybe he has other motives that I don't know about, but he's still here wanting to learn from me. And he's still here wanting to grow his own things because he knows he's learning from me and he's leveraging that knowledge to do his own things, right? So if we as business owners, as remote workers, as content creators, leverage the same strategies that every single one of these big brands and big companies have done, like Google, Apple, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Meta, right, is the new name for Facebook and Instagram, even WhatsApp as well. Even you look at every major company, they acquired as many users as possible, as many eyeballs as possible. And then they monetize that in some way or another, right? You look at, and the best way is doing it for free. When you do it for free, you get access to so many different people that, whatever you choose to sell them, at least a few of them will adapt. You look at Tesla, the way Tesla they sold the most expensive car first to the most prestige people. And then after they sold the most expensive car, they created the cheaper cars for everybody else, right? But what they needed to do first was acquire as many users, as many believers as possible. And this is why I'm also going to show you guys how to create content that shifts people's perspectives, content that changes beliefs. That way, number one, they feel like, oh man, this is a new thing. I want to learn more from this person because you just changed my mind on why I need to be doing these things that you are telling me about. And so for us, it's important to grow, no matter how small it is right now. The more effort you put into growing that small audience long term, even if it's getting 1 new follower a day, even if it's getting, posting 1 piece of content per day, it's growing slowly but surely. And when you choose to monetize that, you get so much in return that, you're a billionaire, right? You look at Google, every one of these companies, they make billions and trillions of dollars that pass through every single one of these companies, and it's because they own the audience and they were able to capitalize off of owning that large audience. I hope that made sense. Is there any questions? Is there any statements? I saw Syed. I know you unmuted.
Yeah, I could say that I have seen some live examples. Like, so in India, we have called the Uber Eats.
Hmm.
Okay. So they have a very good reputation in India. Okay. They would be providing the food for very low cost price. And they got very good audience and they got a very good audience building. So in within a few days, suddenly they have sell the company to the Zomato
Mm,
and they went. That's it. So they got the huge audience and they have sell the company and they have went.
exactly. Exactly. And guess what? They just
No, the spark which I got is the in the beginning of the call, the one which you have said of like ecosystem.
Mhm.
Okay, it's keep on sparking in my mind. Okay, so the because wherever we create the ecosystem, okay, so always we can get a bulk audience for our business.
Exactly. Exactly. And creating that ecosystem is really what allows you to, number one, add so much value to everyone that's working with you, whether you're an appointment setter, a growth specialist, whatever business you may own, right? You look at, I'll give you one example of Apple's ecosystem, right? Apple was able to create such, let me get my brush back. There we go. Apple was able to create such a quality ecosystem, right, where everything is cycled back to Apple, but they're able to leverage that to do so many other things for other companies. And, like wherever that, whether it's they're giving attention away, like someone else mentioned this the other day, and I think it's true. I think in the future, Apple is going to start selling ads, right, to specifically Apple users, right? And the reason being is how many people are purchasing Apple products. And especially when they removed, I think it's something that had to do with Facebook ads, where people could, like, every Facebook ads user was complaining that Apple changed the system, changed their settings. And it's like, imagine how much money Apple will make from selling the attention of people using Apple products. Now, I'm not saying they're going to do this, but imagine how much more money they could make selling the attention of that, right? So what they did, right, and let me show you a good example in the consulting business, the agency business, whatever, right? So Apple created a product. They created another product. They created another product. They created another product. And every single one of those products are connected, right? And you don't want you when you're an Apple product buyer, you don't want to leave the ecosystem, right? You want to purchase the next product. You don't want to buy, let's say, another pair of headphones because you think it's much better to just buy the one from Apple because it will automatically connect with your iPhone. So relating this to the business space, right? And welcome to the call, George. I know you're a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Isn't it technically a monopoly as well? What they're doing? It's
exactly,
like
in a
they're
way.
just getting away with it. So
Exactly, exactly, right? And let me show you this, right? One of my mentors, who I still talk to, he taught me this, the importance of understanding how monopolies are built and doing it so closely legally that you don't get in trouble for it, right? And if
yeah,
we business owners, growth specialists, appointment setters apply this to our businesses, you will thrive, right? So let me erase this real quick and then show you guys an example of how this works out for coaches, for consultants, and for agency owners that you work for, right? So let's say they have an info product, right? This is information that they're selling. Okay. Now, let's say they add another product, which is they help the customers, um, they do it for the customers, right? Done for you, right? So let's say you guys understand how to build a community and you're going to offer this. I'm going to build this community for you. So that's done for you, right? So you can sell information, you can sell done for you. Now, let's say you create another piece, which is done with you, right? So this information is do it yourself, right? It's DIY. All you're doing is giving them the information and they're doing it themselves. Now, let's say you add a done for you piece, like I'm doing. I'm already giving you guys information, but I'm creating so much done for you access for you guys, so much done for you assets that you guys can leverage this when you are working with customers, right? Such as this includes templates. This will include let's say build outs, right? Whether it's for a CRM, right? This will also include let me get another good example. So assets, build outs, access to a community, right? This is kind of like places that you guys can go to get hired, places you guys can go to get jobs, right? So that's communities that are built out, done for you, that I've found and that I've created a list of, right? So all these things are done for you. You don't have to put any effort into creating these things. You just need to, one, learn how to do it, learn the importance of it, and then learn why it's necessary. And then done with you is these are the things like coaching calls, right? These are things like creating templates that you can start to type in and stuff like that, where it makes it much more easier for you to succeed. So I have the done for you, I have the information, and then when I have the doing it with you, which is me holding your hand by your side, helping you every step of the way, you don't want to go anywhere else. And the more I build on the every piece of these, right, which is why I think number one, if I'm not successful in the next 2 to 3 years, it's because I failed somewhere, right? And if I'm not, I'll tag a big number. If I'm not making 100 million in the next 10 years, it's because I really failed to listen to my own advice, right? Because imagine I work with a software company and I created some type of software that makes your jobs with all three of these as easy as possible for you to instantly become a growth specialist, instantly become an appointment setter. And for I'll say the time for you to reach your goal, let's say that I decrease that time for you to reach 10K a month or 5K a month as quickly as possible. The shorter I make the time to success, the more likely you are to want to work with me. And then guess what? The more users I have inside of the program, the more, not users, the more people I have inside of the program, right? When I launch a new offer, which let's say it's to help you guys do something on a bigger scale, I know at least 5 of you, let's say it's out of 100, I know at least 5 to 20 of you will be like, damn, I'm interested. And either those that are interested will say, you know what, give it to me right now. How much are you charging? Right. And it's because I'm leveraging the same thing that all these major companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, every single one of them have done. Telegram and WhatsApp, they're not really selling you anything, but they have so many users that they can just do something, and other companies are going to be willing to pay Telegram or WhatsApp for access to their audiences. And George, earlier I was talking about how Mr. Beast is on his way to becoming one of the first YouTube billionaires. And the reason is he's amassed so much attention that he can easily sell that attention. He can easily start a new company. He did it, right? He launched a restaurant, he launched a clothing brand, he launched candies, and every single one of them are making money. And it's because it's Mr. Beast, and he's also leveraged the attention that he has. And so that's why it's important for me to create content as a business owner, as a content creator, and for you guys as growth specialists, as appointment setters, to not only create content for yourselves, but to leverage that same content to tie it back to who you are working for. Because when you do that, you're helping that business grow, and that business growing is inevitably going to make it so that they are paying you whatever you are asking. Because as a growth specialist, you being able to do these things for them and showing them the importance of doing these things, they will never want to leave you. They will never want you to go elsewhere because they want to keep you, because you become an asset to their company. So does that make sense?
You become high value to them.
Exactly. Is there any questions along the sides of these things?
No.
No,
No.
not from me.
No, is that you're creating all those assets and program for us?
You mean creating the assets so you guys can use them elsewhere, or do you mean creating them just for this program?
No, not for this program. So where I can use it elsewhere.
Yeah. All these assets are going to be, so this is where the done for you side comes in, right? So all of this is going to be done for you guys, right? Let's say, George, you can go to Robbie and say, look, man, this is the importance of building a community. Robbie's probably going to be on board already, but look, man, I can do this for you, right? I have the templates right here. I understand what to do. Let's hire someone else. Like that way I can focus on booking appointments and this person can focus on doing this thing. Or if you're willing to pay me for it, I can do this for you as well, right? So I'm gonna have, or I'm creating right now, all these different things for you guys on the done for you side that you don't have to waste too much effort creating, right? And then all you have to do is go out there and implement it, right? Because it's already done for you, right? And then the doing it with you guys is I'm showing you guys the importance of every single one of these things and the importance of having access to these things and helping someone else and doing it with them instead of letting them do it themselves, right? And this is why this model, it was popular at one point, which is do it yourself, which is selling courses, selling information. People are still doing that now, but it's not going to be like, think about it. Everything is free on Google. People only purchase courses now, and they always done, is because they want access to the exact information that they need. But everything is out there on Google. You can learn literally anything you want on Google, but people still buy courses because they're lazy, right? So how much longer especially with AI, right? How much longer do you think just giving people information is going to last? Now, maybe there's prestigious information, right, at the very, very top, like billionaires talking to billionaires that only billionaires can understand, and they would only sell it to other billionaires, right? Something like that. But then again, you can only access that information from another billionaire. So everything has a key, I'll say, right? And so
But
building our ways to the top, when we can implement these things little by little, you don't have to do it all at once. Little by little, creating one piece of content every single day, that will take you much further than creating no content at all. That will take you much further than, let's say you're doing outreach and people are telling you no, they're not interested. And everyone that's not interested, you're like, well, no worries. Do you want to, join our free Facebook group? That way, you can still learn a little bit about this without working with us. Now, how many of the people who do you think that said no will say yes to joining that free community? Maybe 50%, maybe 10%. But out of those 10%, over a long enough period of time, watching so much of your content, so much of the coaches' content, the agency owners' content, helping them, they're going to be like, damn, I want to work with this person, right? Because they've digested so much content, right? And I was speaking about this earlier, George. I watched so much of a few different creators' content around building my business, improving my business, things to implement. Even this I got from one of them. I want to work with them. I want to work with them because I see them as such a valuable person that there's so much for me to learn from them. There's so much they can help me with that I'm willing to pay them what they are asking, what they are willing to charge me just to work with them, right? And so the same lesson applies to you guys. And even for me, myself, I take content so seriously because of that effect that watching that person's content had on me, that I'm not withholding information anymore. I'm putting everything out there for free because I know they will come back to me in order to me helping them do it or me doing it for them, right? Because doing it yourself, not everyone can do it themselves. It's not as easy. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah. Duno, you were saying earlier about the information that the internet has. Don't you think the fact that there's so much information that it's very easy for misinformation to be spread, and that's why people get coaches and stuff and
as well
apply for online courses.
Exactly. And that's another reason why, right? Like, think about how many different strategies there are for booking appointments, right? Everyone can learn how to book appointments, but what strategy will work for you specifically? What strategy will work for this type of business? And it's little details like that people are willing to pay lots of information for, lots of money for, because one, they get access to the information, they get access to specific strategies, they get access to things that are already figured out that they don't have to try and figure out themselves, right? Information is still highly valuable, but when you tie information with done for you and done with you, people are willing to pay you $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. There are people out there charging $100,000 just for you to spend one day with them. And the reason is because they know how much value you can take away from spending that amount of time with them and what type of returns you'll be able, like, I think, I don't remember what year it was. Maybe Russell Brunson is charging way more now, but he was charging $100,000 for people to spend, I think, 2 days with him, or $100,000 per day. And because you spending that $100,000 will allow you to make millions in return. And that's the importance of having an audience, of having people that are following you, having people that believe in what you're doing and believe, and they trust you so much. They don't care how much you're charging. They just want you to help them. So I think that's it in terms of this lesson for today. We didn't have a coaching call yesterday, but I had to do this today because like I wanted to give back for missing that call yesterday. Is there any questions along this side of these of this?
No.
Are you gonna send the? I think it was. Is it called assets? Yeah, the
Yeah,
assets
all
to
that stuff is
the
gonna be
people.
yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna have like two sheets because Rob is sending me assets and then you're sending me assets. Hope I don't confuse them. You
Yeah,
know what I
nah,
mean?
dude. These assets, they're mine aren't built out yet. I'm currently building every
Mhm.
single one of them out. So, over time, they'll all be stored in one place, and you guys will literally be able to create your own copy of it and save it to your own folders.
All right. Got you.
Sweet,
Cool.
sweet.
I got a question. So
Yep.
basically, tomorrow, um, I'm gonna get a gym membership. My main concern is that